Welcome to another edition of Toronto Talk Sports and More. This is episode number 18. It's your guy, Hez, joined here by my co-hosts, Milo and Courtz. Brothers, welcome back.
It's good to be back, Hez.
Nice to be back, Hezzy and Courtz. 3 weeks off. Little vacation.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yep.
We had a nice little 3-week break there. Recording today, Wednesday, August the 15th. Last time we were here in studio was the 25th of July. So, guys, what have you been up to the last 3 weeks? What's new and exciting?
Wedding, man. I think
You got married? Congratulations! TTS,
maybe,
breaking news.
Maybe, but I might have forgotten. Not that I know. But yeah.
Well, actually, I was at a wedding with you not too long ago. You were pretty smashed, so maybe you might have gotten married and didn't realize it.
I might have gotten on one knee at some point in life, but I don't know. But yeah, it's been an excellent break, man. Guys, it's just 3 weeks off. The weather's been fantastic in the city. We had a long weekend in between there as well. Like I said, had a couple of weddings, a couple of barbecues, spent some quality time with family and friends, and just enjoyed the week.
Yep, same with me. I've been to one wedding. I just enjoying the weather. Took a trip to Niagara with the family. Just spent some nice time, some good R&R, and it's just good to be back here with you guys.
I love it. Yes, me, same thing. Wedding as well.
Yeah.
Went to that one with Milo there. Our guy Deems, he tied the knot with his lovely bride. Congrats. Just doing the family thing as well. Spending quality time with the kids, the wife, just enjoying the summer. It's been great. Wonderful weather. It's been hot. I know some people have been complaining about the humidity. For me, as long as it's not snowing, I'm good. It doesn't matter how hot it is.
That's right.
We're good to go.
We'll hear those same people complaining in December.
People complain about everything, right?
Yeah,
what can you do? So, guys, I want to get your feedback on this. This past weekend, Shawnee O'Neal, you guys are familiar with her, right? Okay. Ex-wife of NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal, who apparently she's a big reality TV star now. There was an attempted burglary at her LA home while her kids and her were in Vegas, right?
Right.
So thanks to an advanced two-way audio and video home system, she was able to stop the thieves pretty much in the middle of the act. Through the security system, she actually said to them, "Smile, you're on camera." And of course, that scared them away. You see in the video that she actually posted on social media, they frantically ran away and whatnot. And of course, nobody was there. Nobody got hurt. They didn't end up getting anything. So here's the thing. She suspects that the punks, as she calls them, and rightfully so, found out through social media by likely, stalking her account and some of her sons, that they were all going to be away in Vegas. So basically that their home would be empty.
Right.
So we obviously know, guys, that we live in this new social media era where, it's a common practice to post nearly every walk of our daily lives on social media. The question is, in light of this, account that I shared with Shawnee O'Neal, and I'm sure we've heard other similar stories as well. It's not the first time it's happened. Should we drastically change our social media habits in terms of the things that we post?
Well, my perspective on this is, I agree. A lot of people, they post everything about their lives on social media. Mm-hmm. If that's what they want to do, by all means. But at the end of the day, you have to be aware of your audience. And if you want to protect your private information, of course, Facebook, Instagram has privacy settings, so you can definitely do that. I'm the kind of guy, I don't post my whole life on social media.
Just half the life.
Quarter, maybe.
All right.
But hey, if people want to post information about their lives, then they have to be live with the consequences.
Yeah, people like to post, where they are, what they're doing, this and that, what they're eating, and everything. Mila, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree with Courtz. I think I've actually personally been a little bit more active on social media this year, but it's not like I let everybody know where I am and who I'm with at every single point in my day. It's just not something that I really want people to know. But if you are, I think it's important is if you are planning on going on vacation with the family and this and that, keep it limited. Let people know that are close to you. Let your neighbors know as well, so that they can watch out in the area and this and that if you are going to be posting on social media. So, people want to let other people know what they're doing, right, and where they are.
It's a part of that engagement, especially if you're a celebrity.
Sure.
You want to kind of let people into your life and let them see, that side of you or whatnot.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. So, I don't have a problem with her posting it and this and that, but I guess I did see the video. It was pretty funny. Let's just I know her and Shaq aren't together, but let's just thank God that Shaq was not home visiting with his kids or whatnot, because that could have been a little scary for those guys.
That would have been an interesting TMZ moment, I'm sure, there. But basically, Shawnee said she had a meeting with the boys and whatnot, and she told them no more posting current situations. So that's the thing,
Yeah.
especially if it's a situation where all of them are away, because
Away.
sometimes
Right.
they're not always together, but if they are together, no more posting current situations
Sure.
in that moment.
Yeah,
and that kind of makes sense. So you don't really want people to know that, hey, the home is vacant,
Right.
regardless of the security system or whatever you have. I think you got to, kind of play it smart. But it is that, where you draw that line,
Fine
because
line,
you
yeah.
do want to, once again, engage with your audience, particularly if you're a celebrity. Even if you're not a celebrity, everybody does it anyway, where you want people to know, hey, we're at, Wonderland, we're at Disney World,
Vegas
wherever
or
it is.
something,
Right?
wherever,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I guess you just got to play it smart.
Yeah, and the whole thing is, again, like I said earlier, it's just, let your neighbors know, right? Let the people closest to you know that, hey, we're going away, we're going on a family trip. If you could just watch out, not that they have to look out 24/7, but if you see something suspicious,
keep an
in the
open
area-
eye out in the
exactly,
area.
right?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
we do with our neighbors and things like that.
But it's
So-
really creepy. It's scary when you think about it, that people will, stalk your account and, that of your family members and whatnot and put one and two together. And it's crazy. I mean, get a job.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, come on.
And they know they got some Benjamins, so I mean, they know Shaq's paying for that house. So.
Oh, man, crazy. Well, we're just glad that nobody got hurt and, nobody was home. So, it's a good situation the way it all ended up. And hopefully they catch the punks that, attempted to rob the O'Neills. So, guys, here's what's on tap for today. Let's get to it. We got a big show, TTS episode number 18. Up first, we got Nick Fantauzzi joining us here in studio. He was here for a feature on our last episode, and we've brought him back to recap his big fight that he did at the Powerade Center a few weeks back. Then we're going to do an open sports roundtable. We'll discuss some NBA, some NFL, and who knows what else. We'll get to that. And lastly, we have a very special guest joining us for our And More segment, where we'll be discussing dating and relationships with a matchmaking expert.
Awesome.
So things could get hot. We're looking forward to that. So, guys, let's get right to it. Toronto Talk Sports and more. Time for some boxing talk. TTS listeners, Hez here alongside Milo, and we're very pleased to be joined here in studio by TTS and More episode number 17 guest, undefeated Canadian professional light heavyweight boxer Nick Fantauzzi. Welcome back, Nick.
Oh, thanks for having me again, man.
Awesome. So, Nick, take us back. 18 days ago, Saturday, July 28th, your fight against Aaron Crawley at the Powerade Center in Brampton. You won the fight in 6 rounds by unanimous decision. Looking back, what was your personal perspective on the fight, and were you surprised by anything?
I think it went pretty well. I controlled the fight. I was actually surprised I didn't get him out of there sooner. I just kind of was taking my time. I knew eventually it was going to happen, and for some reason it didn't. But
Okay.
I tried to push it on at the end, and I'll be happy with the decision.
Did his style or anything that he did kind of throw you off guard or surprise you by any chance? Or
Not really, to be honest. Just he knew what he was doing. I could tell he did his research. He was moving away from my power a lot,
Right.
and he knew what he was doing. He's experienced.
right on.
Yeah.
So, Nick, unfortunately, I was unable to attend the fight personally, but I heard the event was a lot of fun. Congratulations once again. So, can you take us a little bit? You talked a little bit about it, but can you take us a little bit through your strategy during the fight? In terms, were you trying to feel Aaron Crawley out a little bit, or just kind of attack right away and trying to wear him down?
To be honest with you, I was just trying to work on things.
Okay.
I know what I've been doing wrong in my career so far, even though it's going really well. I wanted to capitalize on the things that I haven't been doing right and kind of getting more experience in the ring. To be honest, I thought I was going to stop him eventually, so I kind of took a little bit too much time. But
Right.
I'm happy with some of the way that I've improved on some things.
Right, and I like that because a lot of people in general, not just boxers, will work on things that they're already good at, and they'll try to get better at them. But you can pinpoint the negative stuff that maybe you feel is in your technique or whatnot, and get better at that. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah, thanks. Everybody knows I have a lot of power,
Right.
and it shows. If that's the only thing I use, eventually I'm going to run into somebody who might be able to take that power,
Yeah.
and then what do you do then?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'd rather, even if I don't get the knockout, which I always try for,
Right.
I'd rather learn. Right?
Cool, good.
Awesome. So I definitely had the pleasure of being
Yeah.
there that night. I was at the fight. I had a great time. One of the things I noticed, Nick, there was a lot of Fantauzzi fans in the house. There was a lot of T-shirts and
Fantauzzi.
whatnot,
Yeah.
a lot of supporters. And the interesting was there was about 7 fights on the card, and yours wasn't even the main event. But from my observation, you by far had the most supporters out of everyone there. So what was that like, to get that kind of a turnout, and how does that actually affect you in terms of your, just your fighting?
Yeah, to be honest, I love it. I always get a big turnout. That's actually probably my smallest turnout I've had so far in my career.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's middle of summer. It was really hard to get some people.
People were traveling,
out of town,
vacation.
traveling.
Wow. So you usually have double that amount.
Usually at least double, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it was still a great turnout.
I mean, I saw little kids, guys like the age of my son and younger than some of my children, wearing. And we actually took some pictures. I took some pictures with some of the little guys. It was amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah,
good,
I
man.
appreciate every support I have from every single person that comes.
Does that kind of give you extra steam, extra motivation that you kind of have to put on a show for your family and friends?
To be honest, not really just put on a show, just to do well. I just want
Right.
to win, and then obviously having them there and hearing them, it eggs me on a little bit more to do better.
Right.
And I'm extremely happy with the support I get.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah.
So we'll wrap up with this, Nick. Do you have any other fights lined up for 2018, or are you going to take it easy and look for more opportunities heading in 2019? I think you fought 3 times this year.
Yep.
And what, the year before also?
And the year before 3.
3.
as well,
Okay,
yeah.
so are you lined up 3 for 2019,
Yeah.
or is it going to change?
I think I'm going to have probably 2 more this year.
2 more this year.
End of
Okay.
September,
Wow.
we're looking forward. We're trying to get that settled, and then I think October, November, there's going to be something big happening here.
Nice.
And Lee Baxter's putting on a great string of performances and shows for us. So looking forward for those.
I was a little upset to hear that you won't be competing on August 25th. There's a
Yeah.
Evander Holyfield event going on.
Yeah, it's a huge event.
Yes,
It's-
and actually, we were going to ask you about it. Why don't you tell us about the
Sure, go
event?
ahead.
Give it a plug. We know that Lee Baxter Promotions is, your promotion crew there. Tell us all about the event.
So he's lined up with Evander Holyfield. It's Saturday the 25th at the
real
Budweiser
deal.
stage.
The
real
legend.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to interact with him a little bit, and it's a great card. It's world class. It's literally like a once in a lifetime thing. I wish I was fighting on it, but because of the last fight, I couldn't.
Yes.
But I'm extremely excited to be there.
Right. Do you know where people can go to get more information on the fight or perhaps tickets?
Yeah, you could go to LeeBaxterPromotions.com. You could go to my Instagram, Nick_Fantauzzi, and Ticketmaster as well has tickets. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
Should be a big one.
yeah, it'll be great.
Awesome. Well, listen, Nick, we really appreciate you coming by the studio once again, chatting with us, kind of recapping your last fight and letting us know what's going on for your future. Thanks again. We definitely look forward to featuring you in the future, and we wish you all the best with your career in boxing, man.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nick.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot. Toronto Talk Sports and more.
All right, TTS listeners, it's Milo back here with my guys Hez and Courtz, and we're happy to be joined by another member of the team, regular contributor here on our podcast, Mr. Kashif Arshad. Kashif, how's it going, buddy?
I'm good, man. What's going on? How you
Nice.
doing?
Nice, I'm good, man. Thanks for asking. We've been off for 3 weeks, but we're back, so happy to have you here. How's the summer been treating you?
It's been great. I mean, it's been busy with a lot of golf and a lot of domestic duties. But you try to mix in your normal job with real estate and mix in some sports and
For sure, man.
And time flies.
I got you on my Instagram, so I see you're all over the place, buddy. You're hanging with Tristan Thompson, you're golfing, you're doing so many different things. So I like watching your stories and viewing your pictures on there. So good to see,
appreciate that, man.
For sure,
Appreciate
buddy.
that.
So we're going to open up the discussion here and talk about a few different topics in the world of sports, guys. And we're going to start with our own Toronto Raptors. Snubbed on Christmas Day. So let's start. Early last week, the NBA teased us with a portion of their schedule as they released the Christmas Day games as well as the nationally televised games during opening week. Now, our Toronto Raptors were lucky enough to get 2 games on national TV. Opening week, Friday, October 19th, at home against the Boston Celtics, and the next night, Saturday, October 20th, on the road versus the Washington Wizards. However, lo and behold, for the 17th straight season, the Raps will once again not be playing on Christmas Day. Kashif, I will ask you, sir, did the Raptors get snubbed by the NBA and its schedule makers?
Well, put it this way. Do kids like presents under their Christmas tree on Christmas?
I would assume so, yeah.
They do. They do. So from a basketball standpoint, I think they got snubbed.
Right.
You win 59 games, and you're the number 1 team in the East. Yes, they didn't perform in the playoffs,
Right.
but from that standpoint alone, I think they should have gotten that respect. The fact that they got Leonard, for Debo, new team, this was the time for, I think, especially the Spurs matchup.
Sure,
Right?
sure.
You look at that and you think, okay, hey, that was the prime matchup
Yep.
for the Raps to get.
Yeah.
And you could say that, hey, players want the time off during Christmas,
Yep.
it's during the holidays, but Kyle Lowry said it last year. He said, I would like those jerseys. I want those shoes.
He did.
I want to put that on a mantle. And one day I want to play. I mean, he may not get that chance this year, but I think the Raptors, based on their credentials and what they accomplished over the last 4 or 5 years under Coach Casey, deserve that. Now, that's the basketball standpoint. From a business standpoint, it makes sense. Everyone's knocking the fact that the Bucks and Knicks are in. You can't take New York, that market out.
Really? Even being that bad?
That's what's going to drive the ratings. It's all on Christmas Day. It's all about ratings.
Absolutely.
So from a business standpoint, I understand that. So that's what drives the ratings is the revenue, the market share for the NBA. I mean, unfortunately, Toronto, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't bring in the big ratings that say a New York would. Now, the other matchup I was looking at was the Portland-Utah matchup.
Right.
Utah's not a big market, but you also got Damian Lillard and Donovan Mitchell going head-to-head. So that made sense. Other than that, the other three matchups, they're for sure the good ones. But did they get snubbed? Yes. But, hey, there's always next year.
Absolutely. That's what we keep
So
saying.
there's always another year to get snubbed.
That's right. They're in next year. They're marking now.
Again.
Hez, what do you think, buddy?
I agree with my brother here, Kashif. I mean, yes, sure. I would have loved to have seen the Raptors against the Spurs. I mean, that would have been a great storyline, Kawhi and DeMar and whatnot. But it was expected. I mean, have they ever played on Christmas? No. Have they ever gotten that respect?
One time.
No.
One time they did.
Did they play on
Yeah,
Christmas?
yeah. They played 2000 and
You're right. Yes,
the Knicks.
yes. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Christmas
yes,
jerseys.
yes.
Yeah.
Totally forgot
Vince
about
Carter
that.
days.
That's right. I mean, once again, it would have been nice. It would have been great to see that game in particular. But the league looks at it. I truly believe, and you kind of touched on this, Kashif, they make their decisions based. It's all about the numbers, right? It's about the end game. And if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. And from their determination, it didn't make sense, and so be it.
Yeah, Courtz.
Yeah, I fully agree with both of you on this. I mean, I would have loved to see the Raptors, DeMar DeRozan going up against Kawhi Leonard, Spurs against the Raptors on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, NBA, this is a business. They're in it for the money. So it's unfortunate for Toronto when we get snubbed again. It's not only in basketball. It seems like every Toronto sport gets snubbed, maybe except for the Leafs because it's hockey. But just unfortunate being here in Canada.
Well, the Jays get to play on Canada Day every day, right? Every year.
Well, they play every other day pretty much.
Exactly.
Well, the Leafs, you're right. Yeah, the Leafs, they got the Winter Classic.
They got the
or
Winter
whatever.
Classic,
Yeah.
that's right. So, from a basketball standpoint, I think that the Raptors, they've won the East last year, finishing the best record they've ever finished. I just feel that we don't get the respect that we deserve. But like you said,
you got to win in the playoffs.
You have to win in
they
the
haven't
playoffs.
won in the playoffs. And
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about winning a championship. Go to a conference finals. I mean, not to really litigate.
They were just there a few years ago.
Playoffs,
got swept.
but the way that they exited the last
Right.
playoff against
Doesn't
the
look
Cavs,
good.
that's unacceptable.
Well,
But Christmas Day
Go ahead.
aside, sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but Christmas Day aside, they are getting that respect, as you mentioned.
Yeah, they got a record number of national televised games.
Absolutely.
that's
And that's
true, very
huge,
true,
right?
yeah.
To
Very
be on
true.
TNT and ESPN.
Yeah.
I mean, those games.
That's huge.
You see Doris Burke and Mike Green on the sideline there. I mean, that sends, tingles down my spine. So
Definitely.
imagine the players. So, they are getting the respect, and I think slowly but surely it will come. It's just, what do they bring on the court? And that's what's going to bring those ratings and, eventually the Christmas Day game and et cetera, right?
So for me, guys, I actually think it's a total snub. Look, the Raptors, like you guys said, had the best record in the Eastern Conference last season. I realize they got swept. But honestly, there's absolutely no excuse for them not to be playing on what's considered the biggest holiday probably in the world. I think, Masai Ujiri, he needs to call Adam Silver. He doesn't need to send smoke signals or send an email, send a letter, call and get
apparently
an
they
answer on this.
begged for it, but
They pushed for it.
Yeah,
They pushed
they
for it.
really did.
Yeah,
but
that's
they
what I
got
was just going to say.
rejected.
And, last year, like you said, Kashif, Kyle Lowry, even DeMar DeRozan, they went public about their comments. To me, it's inexcusable to have the New York Knicks, who have been terrible over the years. Kristaps Porzingis might not even play in this game against the Milwaukee Bucks, who just got eliminated in the first round last year. Now, if they are so desperate to have the Knicks on Christmas Day, why not send the Raptors there? Play in New York.
Yeah.
That'd be a good matchup. It's a division rival or whatnot. So I know everybody wanted to see the Spurs Raptors on this and that, but I was okay with either Raptors going to Milwaukee or Kevin Harlan last year on Tim and Sid said that it costs too much money for the NBA to
That was
produce
a
games over here.
consideration, yeah, I remember.
So, that's fine. If I'm going to take Kevin Harlan's word for it, but at the end of the day, if you want to have the Raptors on, or you should have the Raptors, have them on the road. Have them in New York, have them in San Antonio, have them in Atlanta. It doesn't matter. Just get them on Christmas Day, and I'll be happy with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Well, you hope Adam Silver is listening to this podcast because that's a great.
Send him the file.
Yeah, Yeah, I'll send him a text
NBA
after.
headquarters.
All right. So we're going to stick with the NBA, guys. A few days after they teased us with that schedule, they did end up releasing the full NBA schedule, 2018-2019 regular season schedule on Friday afternoon. The Raptors are actually going to be opening up at home Wednesday, October 17th against the Cleveland Cavaliers, minus, of course, LeBron James, thank goodness. So, guys, I'm going to ask each of you, give me the one game that you are looking forward to the most during the NBA season. Hez, I'll start with you, sir.
All right, so for me, I'll give you the date, Thursday, February the 7th, and then they play each other again on the 9th of March. Guys, Lakers at Celtics. Lakers and Celtics.
I like that.
Renewed rivalry.
I'm not saying the rivalry is back yet,
Yeah.
but it definitely has some possibilities, especially when you talk about, LeBron and against Boston, particularly with Kyrie there. And me in particular being obviously a huge Lakers fan, I really look forward to seeing that game probably more than any other game.
Yeah.
Can't wait. February the 7th. Let's do it.
All right. Courtz, you want to?
It's got to be the New York Knicks versus the Brooklyn Nets, baby. No, guys, the game I'm most looking forward to this year is definitely February 22nd when DeMar DeRozan returns to the Air Canada Center. What's it called now? Scotiabank Arena.
We'll still call it ACC.
Always going to be ACC. But, guys, this is going to be a huge game. I can't wait to see the reaction the crowd gives DeMar.
Standing ovation? Or
no doubt they're going to give him a standing ovation. He wasn't his choice to leave. He was very upset about that. We're definitely going to show love to him, and that's just going to be so much energy in the city. I'm actually going to try to get tickets to that game. But there's going to be a lot of great energy in that building, and I can't wait to see that.
Maybe we can get our own boxing podcast live.
Let's do it.
Let's do it up, man.
Do it.
I actually think he's going to get honored with something.
Oh, for sure.
that
Video or
game.
something.
Like,
I think he deserves to.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It'll happen.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It may not be a retirement jersey, but I think he's definitely
But
getting
will he
honored with
shake
something.
Masai's hand? That's the question.
You know what?
Oh.
I think at that point, it's Feb 21. What is Feb 21?
22nd.
22nd, yeah.
You got to let bygones be bygones. By then, I mean, again, when the interviews were done recently,
Right.
Asking him, I mean, it was hot. He was fired up.
He was very emotional.
Yeah, he was
Oh, of course.
emotional.
It
You
takes a
let
while
things
for it to
settle
sink
down.
in.
You
Yeah.
go home. You see your kids.
Yeah. Put everything in perspective.
Absolutely,
Definitely.
and by then, grown men will shake hands.
Yeah,
sure.
And that's what I'm hoping for, actually.
Definitely.
So
I think it might
see.
depend on how the season's going for him as well.
Yeah.
If they're struggling, then maybe he's just going to be like, I wish I was back here. But yeah. How about Kashif? What about your game?
So I was going to say the Spurs and Raps as well, but I'm going to go with the Lakers and Cavs on November the 21st, and that's Braun's
Return to the
return
Q.
to Cleveland. And we all know what he's done for the city of Cleveland.
Yeah.
For the state of Ohio. He brought the championship there. He's put Cleveland on the map multiple times.
Right.
But that return, I think it's going to be different than his return when he came back as a member of the
time.
Miami
Yeah.
Heat,
Yeah.
right? Because that was
vicious.
just turmoil and
yeah.
booze, and it was crazy. And I thought the game was going to get canceled. And
Did
it
you
was just
see what
insane.
the Cavs did on when the schedule got released? They put the Lakers game is cut when the Lakers are coming. They put Lonzo Ball makes his appearance at the Q, and that guy
Yeah,
LeBron's
that was
coming
one.
too.
Oh, they did?
outlet. Just a little shade. Just a little shade.
Yeah, throwing some
But
shade
you know,
out.
you look at it and you go, what? Especially recently, what he did for the kids in
Oh, the
Akron,
school,
the
absolutely
school.
huge. Yeah.
You know, I
Big
mean,
time.
that alone for what he's doing.
He'll
for the kid,
he'll get his respect.
the
Hopefully.
kids
We'll touch on that in a
get
second as well.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. We could touch on that, but I think he has created his legacy there,
Sure.
and his return. I think that game's on TNT as well
Yep.
at 8:00 or ESPN, one of the big networks. Is going to be a great game to see, and that's must see TV.
Who wins that game? Lakers, Cavs.
LeBron's not losing to the Cavs. Come on.
I think Braun's going to get 60.
Wow,
that
he
night.
might go for
Let's
60.
go
Okay.
for it.
We'll
So we'll
revisit
see.
that prediction
Sure.
when that game happens. So for me, guys, I scoped out the entire schedule. I kind of went back and forth on a few games, but I finally decided on one, and that one game is Saturday night, January 26, 2019 on ABC. It'll be the best team in the league, the Golden State Warriors, against, in my opinion, the second best team in the league, the Boston Celtics. If both teams are healthy, I'm certainly going to have my popcorn ready for this one. The TD Garden's going to be a rock, and this is going to be the finals, potential finals preview. The fact that the Warriors will probably have Boogie Cousins back by then as well just makes it that more intriguing. I know the Warriors kind of take it easy, but this will be the statement game, in my opinion, for both teams. I want to see it in Boston as well. I think the Warriors are capable of handling things at home, I should say, but on the road in Boston, hostile environment. Boston's probably going to be playing for something, first place in the East. I think that's going to be a terrific game. It's on prime time on the weekend. I'm going to be ready for that one, guys.
It's going to be a big one. Yeah.
It's a good selection.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, switching gears a little bit now, we're going to kind of stick with the NBA, but a little bit of off-court news. A couple of weeks ago, the king of the NBA, Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James, really, guys, he did the unthinkable by opening a school called the I Promise School for roughly 240 inner-city kids in LeBron's hometown of Akron, Ohio. Kids of all different ethnicities will be attending the school, and for the opening of it, LeBron sat down and was interviewed by CNN's own Don Lemon. During the interview, Lemon asked LeBron why he was opening the school, and LeBron said it was an opportunity to bring kids together in a time where our president is trying to divide us over the last few months, and he's been using sports to divide us. Well, TT himself decided to respond via Twitter, of course, and tweeted out, and I quote, "LeBron James was just interviewed by the dumbest man on television, Don Lemon. He made LeBron look smart, which isn't easy to do. I like Mike." The last line referring to of course, to the GOAT debate, and obviously Trump is going with Michael Jordan. So, Courtz, I'll start with you, my friend. Did Trump go a little too far on this one?
Well, guys, as we know from Donald Trump, I mean, this is something we expect from him, which, in my opinion, is totally unacceptable, especially for the leader of the United States of America. And I don't like mixing, sports with politics.
Right.
I think Donald Trump went completely out of his way, and it was totally uncalled for. And what you also noticed was Melania, I think the day after, a couple days later, she had a totally different position than her husband.
Yeah, right.
She pretty much supported LeBron James.
I said that she would visit the school, possibly. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, what LeBron James is doing for the community is absolutely, phenomenal. And let's face it, guys, LeBron James is one of the most intelligent minds in the NBA, maybe in sports. I mean, his mind is just a genius. And for what Trump did, that it's just unacceptable. But then again, that's Trump being Trump, and that's just
Can't say we're really surprised.
Not at all.
A little shocked at the comments. Kashif, go ahead.
I think, look,
Speechless.
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, we've seen the tweets that Donald Trump has, what he said, and the battles that he's had going back and forth with not just LeBron James, but with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry. So Donald Trump's issue, and again, I'm with you, that I don't like politics mixing with sports, but when you have a name like LeBron James fighting for the athletes, for what he says and what he does, it means something.
Absolutely.
And it means,
For
right?
sure.
So Donald Trump is just afraid of LeBron James. That's the bottom line. And you've seen some of his tweets, even in years past, where he's actually acknowledged LeBron positively, right? Whether it's his basketball or whether it's his shots that he makes or anything like that. So I think in a position of power that Donald Trump is in, when you see another man in position of power, it scares you a bit. And that the battle, really, it's politics versus sports. LeBron's doing his thing. He's doing what's right for the community. Donald's in charge of the U.S. and a big responsibility.
Leader of the free world.
Let him continue on until he's no longer in charge.
Right.
LeBron has created his legacy not just in sports but outside of sports, and I think that means a lot more than the back and forth battle of tweets with
Absolutely. He hasn't responded really on
and he
Twitter,
hasn't
I think,
responded, and that's the
it's a
thing,
smart
right?
thing to do.
But LeBron Donald will respond to LeBron,
Right.
and it's just
back and forth.
it's just a back and forth thing. So
Hez, what are your thoughts? Did Trump go too far on this tweet?
Oh boy, how much time do we have, Milo? You know what? I'm not even gonna necessarily, go there. And I actually definitely agree with what you guys have both said, Courtz and Kashif. If you don't mind, Milo, let me take it from another angle.
Sure, go ahead.
Going back to the interview with between Donald Trump and LeBron James, and once again, this is a totally different perspective. One thing that I actually disagree with.
They interviewed together?
Don Lemon.
Oh, Don Lemon.
Don
Sorry,
Lemon.
Don Trump. Okay.
And LeBron James. Sorry, Don Lemon and LeBron James.
Have another beer if you want.
What they, please make sure it's cold.
Yeah.
One thing that I actually kind of disagree with on LeBron's end was when Don was asking him, if you had the opportunity to basically sit down with the president, would you take up that opportunity?
He said no.
And LeBron flatly said no.
Right.
And I personally believe, regardless of if you disagree with his politics, which clearly he does,
right.
Regardless of, LeBron called him a bum and this and that and whatever the case, I think if you do have the opportunity to sit down with the leader of the free world, the president of the United States, even if you don't think that, it's going to make that big a difference or a big a deal or whatever the case, there's always an opportunity to at least plant a seed, to at least get your voice heard, to at least initiate some kind of dialogue in terms of what you're actually aiming to do to advance your agenda, to move your position forward from LeBron's perspective.
Right.
So I wouldn't necessarily be closed-minded to having a meeting.
Right.
But that's just my opinion. Other than that,
but do you think that egos get in the way?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, those two guys,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're massive egos,
all
right?
have egos. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And it's gotten to a point where it's personal. I mean, if you're attacking, you're calling a guy a bum, you're calling, obviously the president, Donald Trump, questioning LeBron's intelligence. And you said it there correctly, Courtz. LeBron is one of the most intelligent, not even just athletes, just one of the most intelligent people, public figures that we've ever known.
It's hard to call a guy dumb for opening a school.
I mean, obviously, there's no way you can justify it.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is he going to say, though, right? I mean,
it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So, I mean, this isn't the first time that Trump has said anything negative about, or LeBron has said something negative about our president. I mean, I think you guys remember when he was riding around with Kevin Durant in that car, and Kerry Champion of ESPN was.
I saw that, yeah.
He said some things there. He also said that he wouldn't go to the White House if the Cavs ended up winning the championship over the last couple of years. And surprisingly, Trump, he bit his tongue. He didn't say, he didn't say anything. I just think Trump, he was given the opportunity to lash out at Don Lemon, and he included LeBron in it as well, because he sees LeBron doing something pretty special, and maybe he's a bit jealous that he's seeing a black athlete, an athlete of his stature, getting involved in the community.
What I think about it, if you want to really get political, from Trump's perspective, anybody who attacks him, he'll attack you back. Doesn't matter who you are.
Well, he's anti-CNN, right?
Yeah. So he's definitely anti-left, anti-liberal, the whole liberal movement or whatnot. But you go on the attack against him, he's going to double down and triple down. And
I was a little surprised he waited this long to say something about LeBron, because LeBron has spoken out about him over the last couple of years.
It's probably really itching. But
here's the thing, though. To your point, you have to have a conversation. Is a two-way street. Sure. Somebody's got to listen and someone's got to speak.
Sure.
With Trump, it doesn't work that
that's
way.
Where egos
it's his way or the highway.
That's
and you're
right.
dealing with LeBron James, who you said has done so much for not just sports but for
communities,
the communities in general.
Yep.
You get that situation where it's like LeBron's probably thinking, I'm going to say something and it's going to go through one ear and go out the other. Yeah. Why even bother? So that's I think the perspective here. And if LeBron doesn't want to meet with Trump,
he's certainly entitled to it.
So be it.
He's entitled to it. Yeah.
Well, LeBron's certainly no Omarosa, but
that's another story.
That's another battle that's been going on.
That's right. So, guys, finally, we'll wrap up with this. Guys, NFL football is back.
Yes.
I don't know about the three of you, but I'm kind of tired of talking NFL politics and contracts and player movement, etc.
No more kneeling?
No more kneeling. Not for now. I want to talk about what's happening on the field. Guys, realize that this is our first podcast, 18 shows in, that an actual football game has been played the week or weekend before. So, just wow, it feels like a long time coming. Although it's only the preseason, week one kicked off last Thursday. I know we're all excited about the regular season, about 3 weeks away. Final results obviously don't matter in the preseason, but there are still guys out there fighting to make rosters, QB showing out to see if they're good enough to start. And even though we never want to see the significant injuries that take place, although every team played in week one, some of the big names did not participate, which is typically the case. Kashif, I'll start with you, sir. Was there anything or anybody that stood out to you in week one of the NFL preseason?
So the preseason is actually great.
Yeah.
You see these storylines come up. I mean, you saw the punter from or the kicker from on the Ravens, who's from Norway, right? You get rugby players. You get players who would never get an opportunity to play in the NFL. You don't get a chance to live out their dreams. They may not make the 53-man roster, but you're playing, and that's pretty cool.
You got 4 preseason games.
You get 4 preseason games in, so that's those storylines are pretty cool.
Right.
But 2 things that I'm looking out for this year that in week one that I love was I'm a running back kind of guy. Although I played wide out at U of T, I love the running back position this year. Yeah, it was a I rode the bench. I rode the bench
all good, man. It's all
but I
good.
played it. It's a scout team, right? So we'd play against Max for first ranked defense. So it was great. So it was a great experience until I tore my Achilles and my football career was over. So now we're talking football, which is great. Saquon Barkley and
That guy looks like the real deal.
Marshawn Lynch are my two topics of discussion here. That first carry that Barkley had
crazy.
is exactly what the Giants envisioned when they picked him. The last rusher that the Giants had over 1,000 yards was Ahmad Bradshaw in 2012.
Right.
So you pair him up now with Odell and Eli and Evan Ingram, who I got on my fantasy team. So
Nice.
cheering for him. But you pair him up, I think that's a great storyline that I think the Giants need. And Marshawn Lynch, you guys see that run
What a
against
run.
Detroit?
What a touchdown. Oh, boy.
60-yard
Didn't
run.
count, right?
It was a holding call.
Yeah.
So people are saying that Clay held up and the defense held up. But that speed that he had was
Crazy.
Beast Mode 2.0.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
And you have David Carr
Jordy Nelson.
with Jordy Nelson
Martavis Bryant they got.
and Martavis Bryant.
That John Gruden is not pleased with right now because he made some comments. He said Martavis
Bryant?
Is,
With
yeah, he said
Bryant?
Martavis is not
Yeah,
playing
but
well.
Bryant's been a head case for a
Pittsburgh
while,
days,
right?
yeah.
But I think in that AFC West with KC
Yeah.
and I don't know what Denver's going to do this year.
No.
I think Oakland has a chance
Yep.
to make the playoffs. So, everything that Marshawn does, I was going to bring some Skittles in, but I forgot to bring those in. But I think he's a character, and I think if as long as he gets 250 carries this year,
That'd be good.
it'll be pretty good.
All right.
So that was pretty cool to see him run that.
Yeah, that was cool.
60-yard
It was
run.
fun. Brought back some good old days when he used to do that.
And don't forget about my Niners.
Okay. You know what?
Jimmy Garoppolo is
Jimmy
still not
G,
lost.
baby.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah, they're going to be fun to watch this year. Hez?
Yes. What was the question again?
sorry, man.
So listen, and Milo, you know me very well.
Yeah.
Huge football fan. Love the NFL. Favorite sport. I'm so excited. Can't wait for the season to start. For me, and Courtz, you know this too, I just can't get into the preseason. I'm just not a preseason guy. To me, it's like unnecessary foreplay.
It's a good.
And not to say
analogy.
that I'm not a fan of foreplay if we want to go there, but in this situation,
Maybe we can talk about that on our and more segment.
probably that would be a little more suited. And I hear what you're saying, Kajan. There's obviously a bunch of different storylines, different plays. For me, I just love the game so much. I actually I completely block out the preseason. Maybe once it gets to like week 3 or near
The regulars
tail
start
end.
playing a bit.
Yeah, when the regulars start playing or whatnot. I just can't watch it. It's the same thing with the Pro Bowl. I can't watch the Pro Bowl. I've never watched the Pro Bowl. I've seen a few highlights here and there, whatever. If it's not regular season or the playoffs, once again, I liken it to unnecessary foreplay. It's just a complete waste of time. Let's get down to business. I want to see the players play. And obviously, the preseason, as you said, Milo, in your intro, it's not about winning or losing, whatever.
Right.
I mean, obviously, the coaches are feeling out rosters and this and that. So there are some interesting storylines. And sure, perhaps from a TTS media perspective, I should probably pay attention and do it a little more so I could maybe have some talking points, but I don't care.
I think it's for the diehards, right? You miss football for the whole year,
That's
and then
what
all
I
of a
was
sudden
saying.
you see football back. You're like, okay, I got to see
We got to
some
talk.
of the action,
Absolutely,
right?
that's
You
it.
know, that's all
I
it comes
tuned
down
in just because and it was nice to see my Steelers beat Courtz's Eagles.
Okay.
But really, it doesn't really
Eagles.
matter at the end of the day, right? Courtz, any final thoughts
I
on
mean,
this?
I actually 100% agree with Hez, which is something that I rarely do. No offense,
Oh,
bro.
boy.
But
So that means you're mostly wrong, then.
I mean, the NFL preseason, it does nothing for me, guys. I mean, until the season starts, week 1 in September. What was it, September 7th or whenever it is that it
7th,
starts?
or 6th.
That's when the NFL really starts. I mean, but what Kashif said, a lot of players, trying to audition for their teams. They haven't solidified their spot on that 53-man roster. So it's a great opportunity for them to do that. One thing that did stand out to me, unlike Hez, I actually did, pay attention a little bit to it. The Cleveland Browns, guys, the Browns, Thyroid Taylor, or like Hez likes to call him.
Name change.
He had a nice drive there with a touchdown. Then,
And I think they're going to be a good team this year.
Then Baker Mayfield came out and threw 2 touchdowns,
Big
which is fantastic. So
And you got Jarvis Landry throwing punches.
that's exactly
right.
So, the Browns have some good young talent there, and I'm actually excited to
They
see
can't get
them.
any worse, right?
I'm excited to see them win maybe 2-3 games this season, guys.
Wow.
Well, they're giving out that beer, right? Did you see
exactly.
that?
Free beer for every win.
For every
They
win.
might throw a parade in Cleveland for that one. Quickly, guys, for me, Sam Darnold of the Jets. got to look out for him, Baker Mayfield. And, thoughts and prayers go out to Washington Redskins prize running back Darius Guizi tore his ACL. You never want to see injuries, so wish him all the best. Guys, thank you once again. This was great. Listen, sports season is around the corner. There will be plenty of NFL, NBA, NHL to discuss. And, guys, let's not forget baseball, playoff baseball, which is always exciting. It's coming up also. Kind of sucks that our Jays are not going to be a part of it, but will be exciting nonetheless. Appreciate the input today, boys, and plenty of sports talk to come. Toronto Talk Sports and more.
Back with another edition of And More here on Toronto Talk Sports and More. It's Zion Hezekiah, a.k.a. Hez, alongside Milan Sonegra, a.k.a. Milo. You ready, big guy?
Let's do this.
Let's do it. So today we're talking about dating and relationships. Our special featured guest, who's an author, speaker, television personality, celebrity matchmaker, and Canada's most sought-after certified dating coach and online dating expert. Let's welcome the very lovely, the very talented Carmelia Ray.
Yay!
Welcome to the show, Carmelia.
How are you, dear? How
I
you
applause
doing?
for myself? I'm great. Thanks for
Where
having me.
do I get a resume like that?
Oh, my word.
Wow,
Speaking
that's
of
impressive.
resumes, so check this out. Carmelia has over 25 years of experience in matchmaking. She's helped over 7,000 clients. She's interviewed over 65,000 singles across North America discussing real-life dating and relationship challenges. She's been featured in or on Ask Man, Variety, Global News, The Marilyn Dennis Show, CHCH News, Elle, Playback Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, OK Magazine, The Real Housewives of Toronto, and more. So much more.
I think we just took up all the interview time. Listing all those
Currently,
credentials.
Carmelia stars in the third season of the award-winning reality TV-based series Mom vs. Matchmaker, which is airing on MYX TV and Out TV, which is broadcasted in over 85 countries worldwide. So, Carmelia, with all that being said, I know that you're used to being on this side of the table, being the interviewer, kind of asking the questions to your clients, of course, getting to know them so you can better serve their needs. Well, now you're on the other side. Why don't you begin by telling us and our listening audience about Carmelia Ray? So matchmaking, dating aside, just for a second, tell us about you, whatever you want to share.
Well, I think you said it all.
Oh, boy.
I think you said it all. But what a lot of people don't know is that I am a mom. I'm a working mom.
Awesome.
I have 3 children.
We got to meet one of them earlier.
Yes, one of them is here in the audience, in the background. And I'm an entrepreneur woman looking to change the world in the game of love, and I really stand for helping singles make that process easier.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
So outside of work, once again, what are some of the things that you like to do for fun in your spare time? What kind of
Oh
keeps you
man,
going?
I could say I like working out, but
Don't we all?
like sports?
Oh my
I do.
goodness.
I do like sports.
All right.
but-
All right, let's
but
talk some
we're-
sports.
No, we're not talking sports trivia. I'm definitely more of a spectator. But in high school, I played volleyball.
Okay.
I've played. I was on a bowling league, believe it or
Wow.
not.
Interesting. I like bowling.
Yeah.
Bowling league, co-ed baseball. I've played in motion ball here in Toronto, which is a charity for Special Olympics, and they do all kinds of sports.
Very cool.
And, long walks on the beach.
What about tell us birthplace? Where were you born? Were you born here in Toronto?
I was born in the Philippines,
Okay.
actually. And
Filipino ka ba?
Opa, yes, I am. And
a little
I'm an
Tagalog.
Aries. I'm an Aries.
Very nice.
Whatever that means to people. And March 25th is my birthday.
Okay, very nice. That's 3 days after my wife's birthday.
Oh,
think about that for a
I
second.
feel sorry for you. I like your wife.
We'll talk after.
Okay, I like your wife.
I like her too.
Carmelia, can you tell our listeners a little bit of how you got started with matchmaking, where it all developed from?
Interesting story because this was in 1992, guys. So I'm
Wow.
really in my 26th year of matchmaking.
You don't even
and
look
this
26
is
years yourself.
this is
I mean, come on.
before Match.com.
Right.
My ex-boyfriend, and I'm dating myself, but I was like maybe 20, 21, and he's like, "Do you want to work at a dating service. And think about this, like 26 years ago, I'm like, what's a dating service? Like, what do I have to do? And literally my job was to call people who filled out a form in the mail, like snail mail, because we didn't have internet, like not the way we have it.
Right.
And I would call people on the phone, you know, with a dial tone number and ask them and basically tell them about matchmaking.
Okay.
Wow.
And then it was a part-time job and it turned into my full-time career.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Beautiful. So listen, walk us through the process. So once a single decides to hire you as a matchmaker, what's the first kind of initial step? And then what's the rest of the process like in an ideal situation?
Well, the initial step, even before we hire each other, is that meeting or assessment, right?
Okay.
Like I'm seeing whether or not this is somebody that I can help. And oftentimes, singles who come to me, they either know what the challenge is, or they come because they have no clue what
Right.
the challenge is. You know, so we make that assessment. The first decision that's made is, are we a match for each other? Because sometimes you're not a match, and somebody may want to work with me, but I might not want to work with them
Right.
based on their
Right.
criteria.
Sure.
Assuming that that's great, the assessment is usually, say, 90 minutes, about an hour to an hour and a half.
Okay.
Once they choose the membership that they decide, because there's a number of ways to work with me, we choose a program, and they go through a complete preparation for dating.
Right.
Whether they work with my image consultant, we do a professional photo
So you have
shoot.
a whole team that-
the whole team
Okay.
that walks them through that, so that by the time I'm going to set up a date, they're ready and they're prepared. So we concierge the entire process from introducing them. It's member pre-approved. You never meet anybody that you don't want to meet.
Okay.
Some of our clients show photos, and some of our clients do not get photos. So
It's not
it's like a
mandatory.
blind date.
Right.
It depends on the package that you choose.
Okay.
And sometimes based on my gut instinct, if I think that two people are going to be a match, but they may not, I think their photos may not get that yes.
Right. You'll kind of.
You know, I will just steer it to say, you got to trust me here.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
You're meeting up here. I'm not exchanging photos, and it's going to be a blind date. Some people
Trust the process.
Trust the
Yeah.
process. Some people really don't like that. And at the same time, chemistry is very, very difficult to really assess over the phone. Not even over the phone, but through a photo.
Right.
And oftentimes, singles make the mistake of very, very quickly judging whether or not this person is a match.
Right.
Like the Tinder phenomenon.
Swipe right or
Your-
swipe left?
You know, your attraction is based on swiping left and right.
Right.
Like that's crazy.
No.
And just
that
to
really
follow
is
up
crazy.
on that, I was going to ask, so how much of chemistry is based on, you know, that physical connection as opposed to, you know, obviously taking the time to get to know somebody?
55% of communication is nonverbal, so you're already missing that part. You're already using less than 45% of your choice is based on the nonverbal.
Correct, yeah.
And then at the same time, genetics. 40% of attraction is in your DNA, and that's also just in smelling. Like it's actually in your skin. We're animals at the rest of it. If I'm close enough to you, I can tell by your scent if you're somebody that I'm attracted to.
Right. I got on some
So-
pretty nice cologne, so.
Well, cologne, that's what cologne does. It actually plays to that sense, and that's
yeah.
why some of them have pheromones. So guys, I mean, choose the right cologne.
That's right.
Righty.
So I'll just ask you quickly, in your opinion, what is the most challenging aspect of being in a relationship? And also, what is the follow-up? What is the key to maintaining a successful relationship?
Big key challenge for people in relationships is communication.
Right.
Number one challenge is whether it's different communication style or lack of communication at all. Some people aren't able to express, or they're not authentic in their expression.
Right.
Like they say yes, but they mean no, or they say no, but they mean yes.
Right.
So it's decoding that language. And men and women do speak different languages. So, you know, this is why John Gray's book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, was so popular when it came out. And then your second question was what makes it successful?
Correct, yeah. Maintaining a successful relationship, yeah.
Well, if communication is a key to a lack of it, then understanding communication. And I really think physical intimacy and closeness, that's what separates you from having a friend to being a romantic partner. So I think that is a really key part of expression, is the physical expression, it's the affection, it's having your partner feel secure that
Right.
you're with them.
And trust is also a huge thing as well.
Oh, big
right?
time. Yeah, I'm just assuming the trust is already there,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So here's a question I have. So you said earlier that during that initial stage, there has to be some kind of a connection between you and the person in terms of you wanting to take them on as a client. So give us perhaps an example, a live example, something that's happened where you've had to reject the business. Like let's say, for example, a guy comes, he wants to take advantage of your services, but right away you can tell off the bat that he's a loser. Nobody's gonna like this guy. Forget about his looks. He could be good looking, but just personality. Maybe he's just only after one thing. Maybe he's not even single. Maybe he's married.
Okay, so
tell us about a situation.
I had an example. I hope he's not listening. I'm not going to give names.
I hope he's listening.
Recent situation of a client in another province, not here. I won't say the province. He's older gentleman, has never been married. And he is like, say, 59 in that age range, looking to date a woman 35 and under. So already we have an age gap. Oh, okay. Secondly, he wants somebody that's super fit, and he's not. So I had him send his profile, his photo over to me. And by no means would a single 35 fit woman choose him as a partner to begin with. He'd probably be in the back of the line.
Does he have a lot of money or something? Or?
He's wealthy, but that's not it. It's not just that. And a 35-year-old woman that doesn't want to have kids. Oh, wow. So there's a lot of...
Well, at least he knows what he wants, right?
Sure. But for me, I'm just thinking that's a lot of effort on my part to want to deal with that. And it would take a very unique search. Right. So either I'm charging 4 times the amount that I would need to charge, or I just say... It's just not possible.
Right. So what about this specific situation of a guy who's really not looking for a relationship, really not looking for, dating in the traditional sense. He's just looking to get laid.
Yes. So I will decline. A lot of times people will ask me,
there are escort services, right? I mean,
can I have a date on Friday? Like, can you facilitate that? And I've gotten those kinds of requests, so that's another example of where I'll decline.
Right. Okay.
Awesome.
I've had husbands and wives also ask if I provide those kinds of services, and I don't. So that's another example.
There's a website that does that.
Yes,
There's a company that does that, but that's not
I don't even know if they're in business anymore. But not me.
A side story, I actually know the owner of that business.
I'm
my
very
other business,
familiar with.
Yeah, exactly. So as has mentioned, you're one of the stars on the award-winning reality TV show Mom vs. Matchmaker.
Yes.
For those that may not be familiar with it, tell us what it's all about.
Well, Mom vs. Matchmaker is a really fun, family-friendly show that pits a mom against me to see who is a better matchmaker. So it really tests the adage of mom knows best. So imagine, Milos, is your mom alive? Are we here?
Yeah,
she's very okay. So if your mom had the task of trying to find you a date, and had to go up against me, the veteran matchmaker,
I see. Okay,
and you were to go on 2 blind dates with women that you don't know who picked,
right?
At the end of that, based on your experience with the dates, you would decide who is a better matchmaker.
I see.
So it's basically a
Involving
competition.
Mom in the process.
Yeah, well, because your moms, most of the cast that we choose for Mom versus Matchmaker has a tight relationship with mom.
Right.
Very nice. You would think the mom would know who's good for their son or daughter.
Right.
But sometimes the kids only show the version, this side of who they are. They don't show the other side of what they're looking for. So that's my
mom would be really good at that. That's awesome.
Oh, well,
my mom too, probably. Yeah, absolutely.
You're married already.
Well, not for me.
But yeah, that's cool. The premise of the show.
And where and when can viewers tune in to watch?
We're actually broadcasting the 6 of the second series episodes of season 3 of Mom vs. Matchmaker on Out TV and Mix TV in the United States. So Out TV is in Canada. And you can also watch seasons 1, 2, and 3 on mixtv.com, myxtv.com, and you can find the show programming for Mom vs. Matchmaker.
Okay, cool. Excellent. We'll try to put some of that on social media
for sure.
as well.
We'll definitely plug that. I love it. All right. So now it's game time.
Ready?
Oh my goodness.
Carmelia,
I need a stress
down
ball.
for a bit of fun?
Yes. Okay.
So Milo, what do you have in store for
All
her?
right, so Carmelia, it's time to have a little bit of fun here on TTS. We've put together a game called TTS Name That Celebrity Matchmaker. So the way it works is...
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we just did it for you.
Okay.
The way it works is I'm going to give you the names of some celebrities who have been set up or were introduced to each other by a celebrity friend of theirs. And we'll see if you can guess who that celebrity matchmaker is. There's 5.
Oh my goodness.
Okay? I haven't made it too complicated for you, and these people are pretty well known, so I think you'll be okay.
Can I do I
take a
have
sip
like
of
a
water first?
helpline or
Call a friend.
Can I have a call a
50-50.
friend?
Call your daughter if you want. Maybe she...
Michaela, listen.
All right,
Okay.
you ready?
Okay.
All right, so question number 1. This late night talk show host is actually responsible for introducing Kanye West and Kim Kardashian to each other. He himself dated comedian Sarah Silverman, was the host on game show Win Ben Stein's Money, and at the end of his late night show always apologizes to actor Matt Damon for not having enough time to allow him to appear on the show. Late night talk show, he's a comedian.
Well, they're all comedians, aren't
Right.
they?
He just
Who's the
doesn't
guy? Who's
stand
the
up.
guy that has all the cars?
Oh,
Is
that's
that-
Jay
Jay Leno.
Jay
No,
Leno.
he's long gone.
Oh,
With the chin. He's gone.
is it terrible if I say to your audience I don't watch TV? It's not
Okay.
Dave
No.
Letterman, right?
No, his initials are JK
Oh God!
on ABC.
Give her the J.
Give me
Jimmy
Kimmel.
Kimmel. There we go.
Kimmel!
All right.
Give it to her. She got
All
it.
right.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay, here you guys can ask questions. Anybody here is on Team Matchmaker. Okay,
All right,
I don't watch
fine.
TV.
We're all
Well,
one
we'll
family.
take,
Okay,
we'll take
we're
an
all
answer
one
from
family.
anybody.
Okay,
Let's
we'll
just
take
say
an
it.
answer.
All
Got
right.
it.
This daughter of a legendary actor, singer, and a record producer is responsible for hooking up actress Cameron Diaz with her husband Benji Madden. She starred in The Simple Life with then best friend Paris Hilton and is actually married to Benji's brother Joel Madden.
You have to see the faces of everybody here.
This
in the
one,
audience.
I don't even know.
Literally
Wow.
Everyone in the audience.
So
I don't
I'll
even
make
know
it
this
fair.
one.
Is this show is called Stump the Matchmaker?
I'm saying, give her a
what
clue,
I'm
man, because
saying.
I'm stumped
Give me-
myself.
Lionel's daughter.
Line.
Oh,
Nicole Richie.
There you go.
Yay!
Yeah, Nicole Richie.
Okay,
All
you
right.
can do that. Okay.
All right, so
Lionel's
question
daughter.
number 3. So this very popular actor actually introduced Jennifer Aniston to her now separated husband, Justin Theroux. The matchmaker has been in films such as Iron Man, playing Tony Stark, Tropic Thunder, and Gothica. And he was also nominated in 1993 for the Best Actor role in Chaplin.
Does it help if I know what he looks like? Because I absolutely know what he looks like.
Right.
I just don't know his
I'll
name.
give her
a clue.
It's not Tony Stark, though, right?
No, that's his name in the movie, in Iron Man. So
Yeah.
what's his RDJ initials? Rob.
Robert Downey Jr.
There you go.
Right. With a little bit of help, that's
Yay.
okay. You got it. You got it.
Two more to go. Two more to go.
Two to go.
All right, next one. Friends star Courtney Cox. I'm sure you love Friends. right?
Yes.
She
That's
met her.
my favorite show.
She met her fiance Johnny McDade thanks to this star musician. He has hits such as "Shape of You" and "Perfect." He's a redhead and was born in the UK.
Ed Sheeran.
There you go.
All right. Woo! You're on a roll now, babe.
Yay. Yay.
Last one. Are you ready?
God, I answered one question.
This is for the bonus
Yes.
prize. So, Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones, they both hooked up thanks to this very short but hilarious actor. He played the Penguin.
Danny DeVito?
Yes.
Yes!
Oh, my
Didn't even have to
word.
finish.
You're
Oh
awesome.
my
Way to
God,
go.
yay.
Should we give her 5 more?
No.
That was amazing.
Oh,
You
Oh
did
my
man.
God, I'm sweating.
Guys, that was
great.
awesome.
That
right?
was great.
All right.
Carmelia, thanks for participating.
Thank
that was
you.
great.
Thank
So
you.
listen, as we wind down here, please tell our audience how they can get a hold of you and take advantage of your services.
They can. I'm really easy to find. It's CarmeliaRay.com.
All right.
And on all socials, it's at Carmelia Ray.
So on social media, you're on
So
IG,
Instagram,
Twitter,
YouTube,
Are you on Facebook?
LinkedIn, Facebook, at Carmelia Ray.
at
Very
Carmelia
easy to
Ray.
find.
And we'll make sure we'll put that up on our
Thank you
website
so
and our
much.
For
social
sure.
media. So awesome. So listen, to those of you that are listening to our podcast, please note that we have released an extended and more video segment with Carmelia Ray that should be posted by Friday, August the 17th. That's when the video should be released, and it'll be featured on TorontoTalkSports.com under videos. That's TorontoTalkSports.com under videos. This extended video segment will feature Carmelia Ray giving dating and relationship coaching to a single male and a single female. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be very interactive, very informative feature. Once again, TorontoTalkSports.com/video. So check it out. Carmelia, once again, thanks so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun. Toronto Talk Sports and more.
Thank you for tuning into Toronto Talk Sports and more. Please subscribe to our podcast via Apple iTunes or Google Play Store. And stay tuned for new episodes, prizes, and surprises at TorontoTalkSports.com.